Welcome to Teddy's Tech Tutorials, your trusted source for all things tech. Today, we're diving into a crucial tool for any SQL Server user, SQLDiag. Picture this, you're facing a perplexing SQL Server issue. You've scoured the internet, sifted through log files, and yet, the problem persists. In times like these, there's one tool that can come to your rescue, SQLDiag. SQLDiag is a command line utility provided by Microsoft. It's like a detective, collecting diagnostic information and performance data from SQL Server instances. Its primary purpose? To troubleshoot issues, analyze performance, and provide diagnostic data to Microsoft support. Imagine having a toolbox that can gather various logs, traces, and configuration details. That's SQLDiag for you. It's a valuable ally for database administrators and support personnel, helping diagnose and resolve SQL Server issues efficiently. Let's break it down. When you execute SQLDiag, it collects a range of data. This includes SQL Server error logs, profiler traces, agent logs, Windows event logs, system information, configuration details, and performance counters. It's like a one-stop shop for all your SQL Server diagnostic needs. Here's the best part. SQLDiag is customizable. You can modify its configuration file, aptly named SQLDiag.ml, to specify what types of data to collect, where to store the data, and other settings. It's like having a tailor-made suit, designed to fit your specific diagnostic needs. Once SQLDiag has done its job, it generates a compressed CAB file containing the collected data. This file can be shared with Microsoft support or other relevant parties for analysis, making it a valuable asset in your troubleshooting arsenal. SQLDiag is not just a tool for today. It's been around since SQL Server 2005 and is available for various versions. You can typically find it in the C Program Files Microsoft SQL Server Tools Bin directory. With its ability to assist Microsoft support in diagnosing and troubleshooting SQL Server issues more effectively, it's clear that SQLDiag is more than just a utility. It's a lifeline. So let's delve deeper into the key features and applications of SQLDiag. SQLDiag is a versatile tool with several essential features. Understanding these can help you maximize its benefits. As a command line utility from Microsoft, SQLDiag is designed to gather diagnostic information and performance data from SQL Server instances. Its primary use is to aid in diagnosing and troubleshooting SQL Server-related issues. These could range from performance issues, errors, and crashes to configuration problems. When you run SQLDiag, it collects a variety of data. This includes SQL Server error logs, SQL Server profiler traces, SQL Server agent logs, and Windows event logs. It also gathers SQL Server system information, SQL Server configuration details, and SQL Server performance counters. With such a wide array of data at its disposal, SQLDiag is a valuable tool in diagnosing and resolving SQL Server issues. Typically, SQLDiag is run from the command line. However, it's not a one-size-fits-all tool. You can customize SQLDiag to collect specific types of data based on the problem or scenario you are investigating. This customization is done by modifying the configuration file, known as SQLDiag.ml. You can specify which types of data to collect, where to store the collected data, and adjust other settings. After running SQLDiag, it generates a compressed CAB file containing all the data it has collected. This file can be shared with Microsoft support or other relevant parties for analysis. This makes SQLDiag not just a diagnostic tool but also a communication tool, bridging the gap between you and the support team. SQLDiag is not limited to a single version of SQL Server. It's available for various versions, including SQL Server 2005 and later. This makes it a versatile tool, applicable to a wide range of SQL Server environments. The SQLDiag utility and its associated configuration file are typically located in the C Program Files Microsoft SQL Servers, should be replaced with the full path to the SQLDiag configuration file that specifies what data to collect and where to store it. Remember, while SQLDiag is a valuable tool, its use should be well documented and proper permissions and approvals should be in place, especially when collecting sensitive information. Also, ensure to follow best practices for security and data protection when using SQLDiag. Knowing what SQLDiag is capable of, it's time to understand how to use this utility effectively. Using SQLDiag isn't complex, especially once you understand the basics. So, let's dive into those basics, shall we? Essentially, SQLDiag is run from the command line, a fundamental interface for interacting with your computer. Now, if you're a bit hesitant about using the command line, don't fret. Once you get the hang of it, it's like riding a bike. you'll never forget. Now, the beauty of SQLDiag lies in its versatility. It can be configured to collect specific types of data based on the problem or scenario you're investigating. Think of it as your personalized detective, always ready to gather the clues you need to solve your SQL Server mysteries. Let's talk about a basic shell command to run SQLDiag. It looks like this: SQLDiag dex/itools bin directory. It's like its home base, the starting point of your SQL Server adventure. And remember, SQLDiag is not just a tool for troubleshooting, it can also be a proactive measure for performance monitoring and analysis. It's like having a health checkup for your SQL Server, ensuring everything is running smoothly and efficiently, and catching any potential issues before they become real problems. With this knowledge, you're ready to use SQLDiag, but there are some considerations to keep in mind. While SQLDiag is a valuable tool, it's essential to use it responsibly and securely. This mantra is paramount when working with any technology, but it's especially true for a utility like SQLDiag, which collects and compiles potentially sensitive data. One of the first things to bear in mind is the need for proper permissions and approvals. SQLDiag is capable of collecting a wide range of data, from error logs and profiler traces to system information and configuration details. Some of this information can be sensitive, potentially revealing aspects of your SQL Server setup that you might not want to be widely known. Therefore, it's essential to ensure that you have the necessary approvals in place before running SQLDiag, especially in a professional or corporate environment. The phrase, "with great power comes great responsibility," rings true here. As a database administrator or support personnel, you have access to a wealth of information. But it's crucial to respect the confidentiality and privacy associated with this data. This is where following best practices for security and data protection becomes vital. When using SQLDiag, be sure to secure the output files it generates. These CAB files contain the collected data and could be a goldmine for anyone with malicious intent if they fall into the wrong hands. Ensure that these files are stored in a secure location and shared responsibly. If you're sending them to Microsoft support or another party for analysis, use secure methods of transfer. Furthermore, it's good practice to document your use of SQLDiag. Keep a record of when and why you ran the utility, what configuration you used, and who approved its use. This documentation can be invaluable for audit purposes and can help build a case history for troubleshooting recurring issues. While this might seem like a lot to consider, don't be daunted. These are standard considerations for any tool that handles sensitive data. With careful planning and responsible use, SQLDiag can be an invaluable tool in your SQL Server toolbox. Now you're equipped with the knowledge to use SQLDiag effectively and responsibly. Remember, understanding your tools is the first step to mastering them. That's a wrap on our exploration of SQLDiag. We've dived deep into this versatile tool, its purpose, and how it aids in diagnosing and troubleshooting SQL Server-related issues. We've also looked at how it collects a myriad of data types, from error logs to performance counters. We've familiarized ourselves with its command line usage, how it can be customized via the SQLDiag ML file, and how it generates a compressed CAB file of all collected data. We've also acknowledged its wide availability across different SQL Server versions, and its typical location in your system's directory. Remember, this tool is not just for tackling issues, it's also for proactive performance monitoring and analysis. Thank you for joining Teddy's Tech Tutorials today. If you found this tutorial helpful, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe for more tech insights. Until next time, keep exploring and stay tech savvy.